آه السلام عليكم، صباح الخير يا ولاد، عاملين إيه؟ بتمنى إن كنتم بخير وسعادة وصحة وسلامة إن شاء الله. وإن شاء الله هنعمل عملية جمع للمنهج من خلال المواد اللي جاية أو بقية السيلبس المقرر علينا في شكل أسئلة أو في شكل عبارة عن topics أو selected topics، زي ما انتوا حابين تسموها. وده بالظبط بيبين لنا ان التوبكس ديت موضع الفوكس بتاعكم، عشان ما نحصركوش في اكبر حد او اكبر فوليوم من الماتيريالز اللي نازله عليكم. طيب، عايز اقول لكم ان الامتحان الميد تيرم طبعا كلكم اكيد يعني نظرا لبعض القصور اللي انتم ما كانش فيه حضور او المادة اونلاين او ما عندكوش اللي هي الاكسسبل ايدز او المساعدات اللي هي المتاحة، بس انا طبعا متاح في الجامعة بأمر الله من الحد والاثنين والثلاث من 9 صباحا ل4 ل3 مساء. اللي عايز حاجة مش واضحة تحت امر ليه في اي وقت. ده هيعوض ان شاء الله اللي حصل في الميد تيرم، بس عايزكم ان انتم تسلموا الاساينمنت في ميعاده وتسلموا الكويزات، واللي ما عملش الاساينمنت حلو او الكويزات في الكتاب تحت في المكتبه نحل اول سؤال من الشيت. والاسئله اللي هحلها ديت مش هتتراجع، يعني هتبقى انه بس يسلم الشيت ده وياخد درجه منه، هتبقى حاجه اسمها يعني ايه تسليم فقط او upon submission. مش عايزكم تقلقوا، ان شاء الله خير، وبامر الله كلنا معاكم لحد ما يبقى عندكم مستقبل زاهر وتنجحوا الماده ديت بخير وسلام. طيب، النهارده هنبدا حاجه جديده ودي هنسميها ريفيجن 1. طب انا كاتب ريفيجن 1 ليه؟ لان هيبقى في طبعا ريفيجن 1 و2 و 3. طيب، عايزكم بس تركزوا على دول، يعني ايه، مش عايز اقول بس يعني اكيد دول ممكن يكون الريفيجنز هيغطي 70 او 75% بالظبط من الفوكس اريا بتاعت الامتحان. طيب، طبعا الكتابه باستفاضه والسماع للشرح، وحاولت انك انتم تغيروا الشرح ده او انك انتم تتفكروا حسب راحتنا. طيب، هنبدا اول حاجه بال البيزنس باير behavior. We can see in front of us in the first slide the major types of buying situations. There are many situations where buyers can fill their needs or their wants from only one place. For instance, we can see here there are some people or some joyers or some amateurs. They went to the zoo or to the celebration area or circus, or where the Jews or the play or etc. Here they can play and they can buy beverages like Coca-Cola, Fanta, Pepsi Cola. They can eat as well from McDonald's, from Kentucky Fried Chickens, McBurger, or etc. They can also, do some errands. For instance, access to financial devices to pay buy plastic money for their expenses. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is like the system selling is like a buying in a complete or a buying a complete solution to a problem. If you are going for entertainment area like this, as we can see in front of us, you will see it's just it's just for fun, but you can buy or you can be a consumer for many vendors as much as you want. To solve this problem from a single seller, where it's entitled the entertainment area. Uh, for the business, again, business buyer behavior, participants in the business buying process who are there. First is the buying center. It's not like the magazine or the shop or the agents where you can buy a car. Rather, buying center consists of all the individuals and the unit that play, like a mall. Like if you are going to a mall, let us take a shape of a mall. If you are going to the Sheikh Zayed Mall, to the Carrefour Mall, you will find the units that play in the whole of business purchasing decision making. For instance, users will explain each of which in the next slides. Users and influencers, deciders, purchasers, and gatekeepers. Who are, let us say, users are those that will use the product or device. For instance, the main user, if you are going to buy a car or to buy some items from a car or from a mall, you are the user. But don't forget nor ignore. There are sub section or sub categories in this slide. For instance, influencer, who those are or who those that may be. Help define specification and provide information for evaluating alternatives. Sometimes you can find people looking at your door with the fire or with just invading your privacy in the Facebook apps or like under title sponsored, and they try to influence you to buy by showing up or displaying the product benefits. Or for instance, if you want to make it like much easier, people who are standing in front of the perfume stands in the supermarket or in Carrefour or even in mall area, they are selling some perfumes, some cheese, some kind of beverages. They always affording some kind of free samples, and they explain to you why their goods are more buy worthy or more or it has more value than others. Then they evaluate or they provide the information for evaluating the alternatives. For instance, oh yeah, hi guys, please come to buy from us. We are selling like Boss perfume. Why? No, I don't want you to buy other perfume because Boss perfume is lighter, is summer perfume, is widespread, is like freshy or suitable for your age. You are not going to buy or to put on like a perfume giving the sense if you are like an old or you are boy. Some perfumes have the same sense. Or for instance, the are selling some Apple's phone. They come and say, well, look, put it that way, we are selling Apple. Don't buy Nokia, don't buy Oppo, because Apple's cannot be invaded by hackers, cannot be by virus, is lighter, is more progressive, is has many options and many value-worthy alternatives. Those are the influencers. The buyers, those people have like informal sorting to select the supplier and arrange terms and conditions. For instance, put it that way, if people selling airplanes in the Boeing airplane company, uh, their customer or their usual customer are governments. They are not like individual, but sometimes the target audience or the target buyers include some informal or informal sorting, people who are selling and buying weapons and gun. Those people are going like informal or formal sorting, but supplier arrange this buyer have like formal sorting to select the suppliers they put because the buyer like buying areas you want or the sellers you want to put it like a high, the very highest rate for purchasing. But those people like fix the price, not more, but maybe less. Decider, oh, these people are formal or informal, the mix, who select and approves the final supplier. They give like tenders, they tell or they say to the Boeing airplane, look, NASA or Google or Blaine are more later, are more widespread, are more progressive, are more innovative, and here your Boeing is just for martial purposes. 80%. It's not like well known. It is like it has like controlled by other formal buyers. For instance, Russia and the USA. That's like a formal or a simple example, not an inclusive example. Gatekeeper people who are control the flow of information. For instance, Apple's smartphone. Now, Apple's sells maybe 14 or 15, but they have already Apple's 18 or Apple 19 or Apple 20, but they don't want this to come like in the flocks, coming in chorus in the market for you to buy, because you will buy hopefully uh, the latest Apple 20 or Apple 21 or Apple 90 or Apple 20 or but those gatekeepers, they are controlling the flow of information for selling, the flow of innovations, if you like to entitle. They give it like they instill the innovation in the market and accompanied with the product, which includes this kind of information and innovation, like bit by bit, or like a drop by drop, so that people can buy what those gatekeepers want them to buy and product, as well as the protect their industry from other rivals or competitors coming and damage or spoil the competition. Again, business buyer behavior, who are the participants in the business buying process. The business buying center concept, please can we just focus on this? Thank you. Presents major marketing challenge, giving the value group uh, involved in this how. First, by dividing who participates in the decision, by say some categories: relative influence on the decision by various participants. From the first slide, we can see also from uh, the next five influences. We will explain these in details. Evaluation criteria used by various participants. For instance, you have like a checklist. Shape is handable. Package is handable, and and anti-fragile, or just for instance or simple example. Price competitive. Are the informal participants involved in this game, because it's not beneficial or not value worthy to have people who have like informal, like emitters, people who can afford for themselves, not for they are not buying in a mass, buying like one airplane for jet company to the can some type of weapons that as parasites who come in into the decision. If you have informal participants involved in the decision, or non informal authority, this will sway or will swing the decision of the product as well. It is really beneficial for companies to have a single mode, or just 99% of those who are involved in the decision are formal, not like informal. Um, Let us see here again for the new product or the decision process. Let us see here the adoption process. Adoption, as we can see all, it's like a mental process. A mental process. An individual goes through. You can, for instance, know a lot of the information, and then from first learning about the innovation, you are interested. Yes, I have the idea already. I have the background. I have the information. about price, shape, details, etc. And then I am okay, I am interested. Then about I will evaluate. Okay, and then the evaluation, you and other evaluate the alternatives for other products and trial if you want to, as we said before, you want to try the test perfume and to have like an initial idea about your willingness or your inclination to buy. Adoption is the last decision or the last stage of the buyer decision process for a new product where you already decide that you will adopt the product. Let's explain each of which. Here is awareness, where the consumer become aware of the new product but lack information about it. They have only partial information. For instance, by those who are standing in the front of a mall or a building or a company representatives who are trying to persuade people to buy some stuff. Interest, where the consumer seeks information about the new product. Okay, oh yeah, I learned about information. Okay, tell me more or let me update more about the product because I'm interested in buying this product. In the evaluation stage, where the consumer considers whether buying or whether trying the new product makes sense. For instance, I want to buy, well, I want to compare a Apple phone with Oppo or with Nokia or other kinds of smartphone in terms of pros and cons of each product, advantage and disadvantage of each product. A trial, where the consumer tries a new product on a smaller scale to improve his or her estimate of the value. For instance, you want to buy like a small or a bit piece of pizza to get like an idea. For instance, you like the margarita or like the with chicken or spicy or etc. Adoption stage, where the consumer decides to make full and regular use of the new product. Here we are moving to our last stage, where in the buyer decision process for new product, the influence of product characteristics or product characteristics on rate of adoption. There are many influences based on the rate of adoption. For instance, relative advantage. We'll explain each of which in the next slide. Relative advantage, where the product we will see like get an example of the HD screen or whatever. Compatibility, if it's compatible. Complexibility, if you can deal with, for instance, smartphone. It has like many apps where people just are not used to use these apps. They are using their calls, Facebook, WhatsApp, no more or no longer. Or some use like games or whatever. Divisibility, if it's if it can be divisible or its contents are easy to buy. For instance, you can buy like an iPhone and with like 20,000 EG Egyptian pound, but when you are going to buy a charger, you will pay 2,000. If you are going to buy like a battery or like a power bank, 6,000. Oh my God, this is about the expensive stuff of a product which called divisibility. Communicability, let us explain this in the next stage, the last page. Relative advantage was the degree which innovation appears superior. For instance, as we said, the HD TV, it provides and offer like substantial improved picture quality. This accelerates the rate of adoption because they are all in all are based on rate of adoption time. Compatibility, where this fits the value and the experience of for potential consumer. for instance, is highly compatible with lifestyle. Yes, you can search on the internet by this the HD TV. You can watch games and access to the be it sport or other kinds of free browser or apps for watching TV, watching public. Complexity was degree which innovation is difficult to understand. For instance, the apps on the mobile phone, Apple mobile phone, and etc. to understand. For instance, the HDTVs are not very complex or yeah, easy. You just can access to the remote control, and then everything will be in order. Divisibility, as we said before, the degree to which the innovation may be tried on a limited basis, as HDTV and HD cable and satellite system were again very expensive, which slowed the rate of adoption. Again, all in all, are based on the rate of adoption. As price fall, adoption rate increase. They are all based, the rate of adoption are based on all of these, and all of these are based on the rate of adoption. You have like complementary or reciprocal relationship of benefits. The last one is communicability. Was the result using or results of using innovation can be observed, described to others. For instance, you can ask your relative, your brother, your sister, your family, your neighbors about, have you got like Toshiba inverter air condition? Oh yeah, we recommend it because it is easy, it saves electricity, it has like self-cleaning, it has like many benefits. So your neighbors or relatives and brothers or people who are around you can explain or elucidate this information simply to you so as to persuade you to buy this product. This is the last stage, so we can see from this in front of us the five influences of the rate of adoption. Kindly requested to focus and remember what we have said in this recorded lectures for your own interest and help. Good luck for be in touch. I'm available for you at any time on campus. Just be in touch. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.